what will I get at Tech Financial? You're going to get someone, you're going to get a different perspective. You're going to get someone that comes alongside you. But most of all, you're going to get a cheerleader. I'm going to be the one that cheers you on. I'm going to be the one that celebrates with you. Like, I mean, you probably could have heard me scream from South all the way up at NCAT when I received that email. Hey, man, I have a bank account for the first time.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to be a cheerleader and an encourager for people to, so if you schedule an appointment with Tech Financial, you're not going to be beat up. There might be, hey, let's look at this a different way. Have we thought about this? But you're going to have an encourager and a cheerleader that's on your side to help you navigate to where you want to be, right? So much of us, myself included for a lot of years, I'm like, I don't want to live like this financially, but I was too scared to ask someone else.
Yeah, don't be scared to ask for help.
No.
Matt, welcome to Tech Talk at WSU Tech.
Thank you.
It's really great to have you here.
Thank you.
Can you start by telling the audience, introduce yourself,
Okay.
what your role is,
Okay.
how long you've been at the college?
All right. Yeah, my name is Matt Lucas. I'm the Director of Financial Wellness, and that is a new role for me. I just recently celebrated my 3-year anniversary here at WSU Tech.
Congratulations.
Thank you. But the Director of Financial Wellness has been just in the last 6 months or so. Prior to that, I was a business partner, helped navigate the world of finance and between other departments in the college and finance. I called myself the finance answer man. And so then this opportunity came along through the Shark Tank process to be the Director of Financial Wellness. And I'm delighted. I'm living a dream every day.
Like this is your passion.
Oh,
This is-
absolutely.
I
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
talking to you about this when you
Yeah.
were the business whisperer.
Right.
Is what I usually called
the
you.
finance answer man. Yeah,
the finance whisperer.
Yeah.
And you talked a lot about this being something that you so wanted to do.
Yeah.
So talk about how all this started.
Right.
To where you are today.
Okay. So it started with nobody taught me this stuff. when I was a young man and a teenager, if I learned any kind of financial habits, it was probably bad habits. And so I had to learn the hard way how to navigate the world of personal finance. There was so much I didn't know and so much stress and anxiety and overwhelm and turmoil was associated with that. And then I had people coming to me asking me questions to help them navigate their personal finances. And I had married couples coming to me and saying, our marriage is in trouble and we think it's finances that's contributing to that. And then I would go home and have that same stress at home. And I was like, I have to figure out something so that I can help others and help myself. And so I just started a journey that ended up being many years of how do I help myself? How do I help others navigate personal finance? And then I had teenage kids by that point and trying to help them launch into adulthood in the real world. And I made a vow that I'm not going to have them have to learn the hard way on their own the way that I did. And so then I had the opportunity to teach personal finance at a local high school, and that just lit the fire even more. And but part of what the frustration in that kind of led to being here at WSU Tech was when I was teaching high school students, when I would talk to them about personal finance, they seemed to look at it as a tomorrow problem.
Yeah.
And so mom and dad or their caregivers or whatever, or try to talk about homeowners insurance with a high school student. It just, their eyes glaze over and they don't want to pay attention, or how to save for retirement. That stuff seems so far out into the future. It's such a distant thing that they just didn't have to worry about it. And so I had this dream of how can I work with a population that it's a today problem. Rent's due on Friday. And so that the lessons I was able to teach have immediate application. And so obviously that's not the opportunity that was immediately available at WSU Tech, but I even remember in my interview, as people usually do, they ask, what's your professional aspirations? And in that interview, I answered, my dream someday is to start a financial wellness center at WSU Tech. And they replied back, well, we don't have one of those. And I was like, yeah, I know, but we will someday. And I'm not sure I imagined it would happen as fast as it did, but here we are living that professional and personal dream for me.
So 3 fast years later.
Yeah.
Actually 2.5,
Yeah,
because
2.5.
we started this in January.
Right.
So tell our audience what Tech Financial is and what it is not.
Okay. So we are a financial wellness center, and I chose that name, financial wellness, very intentionally. I don't want us to be simply a financial literacy center. While financial literacy is important, there's so much more to our financial lives than just the nuts and bolts, the math, the spreadsheet. There's emotion, there's relationship, there's all those things. So that's kind of what we want to help people navigate. So first and foremost, what it is it's for our students. Our students are navigating, many of them, especially our adult student population, real life, work, family, kids, all those things is happening simultaneously to them being a student. So how can we come alongside them and help them navigate that? Whether it's a simple question of, what is a 401k? My new job is offering me that, and I don't know what it is, to that financial literacy piece, to the things that they have to navigate. Rent's due on Friday. I'm tired of living like this. How can I find a way out? We want to help them chart that. So that's, and then beyond that, we're also open to employees. The research by the Harvard Business Review says 80% of employees are stressed out about finances while they're at work. Well, if that's the case, then WSU Tech employees aren't exempt from that. So we want to be available to walk alongside our colleagues here and help them feel less stress about finances while they're here. Then there are some certain community partnerships that we want to help support in that financial wellness journey. Some of our nonprofit partners and things like that.
Didn't you do something in January, February with United Way for students?
Yeah. So with United Way, we were a VITA host site. So VITA stands for Volunteer Income Tax Assistance. A couple of our other employees and myself served as volunteers. Then we had volunteers from the community that met and filed income tax returns for free. And so there's an income threshold to be eligible for that program. So it's serving our low income neighbors. And so we, out of actually this room, we filed 140 tax returns during tax season as a host site for VITA at WSU Tech.
And that's the first year.
This is the first year.
Time. Are you going to do it again?
I hope so. Yeah. On April 16th, people asked, will we do it again? I probably would have said no, but the further away we get from tax season, I just saw the benefit of it, and we really hurried it together. I would love to see what we could do if we had the proper lead up time to that, because anecdotally, the way I was able to keep track, about 40% of that 140 had some direct connection to WSU Tech, whether an employee, a student, maybe a parent of a student. So I would love to see that percentage increase and for our help in students in that income tax realm to really increase. So
you mentioned this, and it's so true. Our students, no matter what age they are juggling so many things, so many life issues, in addition to trying to do what they think is the right thing for them and either their current family or the families that they're going to have someday. By being here, by education is the great equalizer. We know that. But when we think about this, talk to me about why is financial wellness a contributor to academic success?
Right. So study after study after study will tell you that the number one reason students drop out of school prior to graduation is some kind of financial disruption, a financial issue. Now, there's lots of different contributors to that. It may be they got laid off. It may be, just all sorts of things. But I think that's one of the ways that we can help stem that tide to say, yeah, if this is a contributor to you considering not graduating, research says that 1 in 5 technical and community college students across the United States consider dropping out every semester due to financial worries. So
1 in 5.
1 in 5. So 20% of our student population is at home at night, stressed out, maybe some tears laying on their pillowcase.
Trying to figure out
how am I going
the next
to
day work.
Right. How do I make this work? And for too many students, the thing that gives, because we've all been there, something's got to give. The thing that gives for them is their education, which is just a cascading effect of, that decision pays probably negative dividends over the long term. And it might be they got a flat tire, their car broke down, their daycare closed for the day. And so it's simple things. And so how can we come alongside them and help them have some stability and some confidence in their personal finance so that they can alleviate some of that stress? We're not going to take all of it away,
right,
but alleviate some of that stress so that they can then focus on their academic work and achievements.
So you're very early in this.
Right.
You're
Yes.
6 months. You've born the baby at 6
Right.
months old.
Right.
What has the first 6 months been like with students? And give me a success story or
Okay.
some story that really
Yeah.
brought you a lot of joy and made your heart happy.
Okay. The one that I immediately go to, Elise James, working with our Shock the System students, has been an incredible advocate of what we're doing in Tech Financial, and so I have the opportunity to work with those cohorts of Shock the System students. And I love that when I go and meet with them in their orientation, I say, hey, I can come once a month, meet with you and do, whatever you'd like to learn about. What I like to do is ask them, this is choose your own adventure. I don't want to arrive and tell you what you need to learn. I want you to tell me what you want to learn. So it's a wide range of different topics that they want to hear about. But it took me aback the first time when they started arguing with me. And I was like, sorry, I'm not trying to intrude. And they said, no, once a month isn't enough. We need you more. And so, for example, this summer cohort that I just did introduction with last week, they're asking to meet every week that they're here over the summer. Wow. Yeah, so they're hungry for this thing. And I hand them my card and they're like, you're going to hear from me. But one of the stories is a student that I worked with a couple of semesters ago. And since he graduated from our machining program, he was in the work release facility here in Wichita, and he has since is out. He has been released from prison. He served his sentence, and he keeps reaching out to me, and he calls me my financial advisor from school, which I'm not. I'm not a financial advisor.
I love that.
I do too. I love it. He's like, he introduced me to his brother, and he's like, this is my financial advisor from school, and so. Just to hear his success story, and when he was still here as a student, still incarcerated, he comes to me and he says, Matt, I haven't had a bank account since 1996. What do I do? Like, how do I navigate this whole landscape? And banking is very, very different than it was in 1996. And so he now has a bank account. He has a place of his own. He's receiving direct deposit from his job. he's got a second. I'm getting chills talking about it. He has a second job, and he just can't wait to send me these positive updates of all the things that is going on. And it was as simple as, here's what a bank account is. Here's where you can go. Here's what it does for you. Here's why it's important. And it's opened up a whole new world for him. And even in those short few months, I could tell story after story of those students that walk in with their shoulders slumped and their eyes looking at the floor, and they just leave a little more of their shoulders thrown back and
Head up,
a
shoulders
right,
back.
a little more sparkle in their eye. And that's why I do what I do. It just happens to be talking about finance. But
Well, I'm a huge fan of
Right,
this.
yeah.
And what you have taught me over the last year and a half, as we've talked about this a lot, I hear a lot of times liberal art colleges say we're educating the whole person.
Mm-hmm.
And what I have been able to take from that and think about with what you have taught me
Mm-hmm.
is that what we're trying to do is give knowledge, give skills, give credentials,
Mm-hmm.
and also digital literacy and financial wellness.
Yeah,
That's the whole person for us.
right.
If we do these three things plus these two things, then I think we are educating the whole person that leaves from WSU Tech and goes and starts their career
Right.
and then continues their education or whatever pathway they go. But there's a piece of this that we would say, is that our responsibility? And I'm always going to go back to, if not us, who?
Right. I'm a firm believer in that. That's what motivated this idea here in the context of WSU Tech for me, is since my first day working here, I hear from you about our mission is to contribute to the economic mobility of our community, of our students, of their families, and I'm a firm proponent of that. I believe that, but what I think about at night is, okay, our wonderful instructors and these academic programs, give them that skill set to go land that high wage job and earn those high wages. And for some of our students, it's more money than they ever imagined they would make.
That's right.
But if we don't also couple that with the confidence and the skill set to manage their finances, have we really done for them a disservice?
Mm-hmm.
Because say that they do land that great job and they mismanage their money, they're just mismanaging more of it.
That's right. We've just created a whole nother set of issues for them.
Right. We've
Because
just
we
sped up
didn't-
the treadmill.
Because we did not
Right.
set them up for success.
That's exactly right. And so I want to come alongside what they're learning in the classroom and in the lab and contribute to that whole person and that whole mindset for them and for their family. I mean, the ripple effects are huge
Yeah.
of what could happen if a student takes what's available to them at Tech Financial. They learn that, and they have a cheerleader. I want to say, like, I'm not going to be here. I think people there's a hurdle to come and talk to someone else about your money.
It is.
Right. It's scary. It's
It is
intimidating. It takes a lot of courage. But I want people out there, whether it's our students or our employees, as they're listening to this, like, what will I get at Tech Financial? You're going to get a different perspective. You're going to get someone that comes alongside you. But most of all, you're going to get a cheerleader. I'm going to be the one that cheers you on. I'm going to be the one that celebrates with you. Like, I mean, you probably could have heard me scream from South all the way up at NCAT when I received that email. Hey, man, I have a bank account for the first time.
Yeah.
Right? So I want to be a cheerleader and an encourager for people to. So if you schedule an appointment with Tech Financial, you're not going to be beat up. There might be, hey, let's look at this a different way. Have we thought about this? But you're going to have an encourager and a cheerleader that's on your side to help you navigate to where you want to be, right? So much of us, myself included, for a lot of years, I'm like, I don't want to live like this financially. but I was too scared to ask someone else.
Yeah, don't be scared to ask for help.
No,
Matt, I want to thank you for being on Tech Talk with WSU Tech today.
you.
And I want to just say to you that I'm a huge fan of what you're trying to do.
Thank you.
The community group, when we did Shark Tank, there were so many people in that community group that loved this idea, that wanted to invest in it, that were, that were just so aligned and could see your vision and your passion. And I love that you are the financial guy at WSU Tech.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
Thank you. I'm honored. Thank you.